Now, factorization method of solving a quadratic equation. Let's look at it carefully. Let me start with a very simple question. If I give you solve x square equal to 25. See, the degree is 2, so this also falls under the category of quadratic equation only. Now, this is very easy to understand because from here we can directly say it is x equal to 5 or minus 5, because we know that 25 is 5 square, so it is either 5 or minus 5. Right? So here we already know. So how do we apply factorization here? Let's look at this. Bring this 25 to the left hand side. It becomes, so we already got the answer of this. I'm just trying to show how to use factorization in an easier situation. Here we have x square minus 25, that is equal to 0. Now this can be written as x square minus 5 square, that is equal to 0. We have learned the formula a square minus b square is equal to a minus b into a plus b. Let's apply it here. What happens? It will become x square minus 5 square will be x minus 5 into x plus 5, that is equal to 0. Now you see, this is a product of two things. Now when the product of two things is equal to 0, that means any one of them has to be 0. So this tells us either x minus 5 is equal to 0 or x plus 5 equal to 0. From x minus 5 equal to 0, you can see that x is equal to 5. And for x plus 5 equal to 0, you can see that x is equal to minus 5. Right? So these are the two solutions of the given equation. Okay. Now, here it was very easy to factorize, right? Because it was simply a square minus b square format. What if this is not in this format? Then how do we go about it? So now I'll share with you the perfect method of factorization of a quadratic expression or quadratic equation. Let's see. Suppose we have solved x square minus 5x plus 6 equal to 0. Right? Now, when we say in the general form ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, here this a, b and c, these are the constant terms. This a is the number that is being multiplied to x square. So it is a is called coefficient of x square. This b is called coefficient of, coefficient of x square. This is coefficient of x. This c is the constant term. Right? Now, knowing this, what we can do here is look at the coefficient of x square. Now here it is 1 into x square. Coefficient of x is 5 and the constant term is 6. Right? What the method says is take the coefficient of x square and the constant term, that is a and c, and then multiply them. Right? Get a new value. So in this case it is 1 into 6. We get a value as 6. Right? Now break this product 6 as a product of two numbers. Right? In all possibilities. So one possibility is already this one, that is 1 into 6. There is another possibility, 2 into 3. Right? So it is either 1 into 6 or 2 into 3. Okay. Now go back to this and look at the sign of the constant term. Here the sign of constant term is positive. The sign of constant term, if it is positive, then what you should do is go to each possibility and add the numbers. So if this is plus sign, add the numbers. So if you add, you will get 1 plus 6 as 7, 2 plus 3 as 5. Please look at this carefully. If the constant term has positive sign, then you need to add these things. Right? Similarly, if it was a minus sign, then you need to take difference of these two things. Okay? Now in this case, it is plus sign. So take the sum of these two, you will get 7. Take the sum of these two, you will get 5. If any one of these numbers is present as a coefficient of the middle term, I repeat very clearly, if any one of these numbers, that whatever sum we have calculated, any one of these numbers, if it is a middle number, if it is the coefficient of x, then only the factorization can happen. Right? Now here, 5 is here, so the factorization is possible. How will it be possible? Let me write it again. It is x square minus 5x plus 6 equal to 0. How did we get this 5? This 5 is 2 plus 3. Right? So what we do here is we say x square minus. In place of 5, we take 2 plus 3 into x plus 6 equal to 0. Be extremely careful about the bracket and the sign. In place of 5, I am writing simply 2 plus 3. Okay. Now, this is, if you open it, it will be x square minus 2x minus 3x plus 6 equal to 0. Now, from x square and 2x, you can take x common. Inside it will be, from x square, if you take out x, x will remain. From minus 2x, take x out, so you get minus 2. Now, from these two, take minus 3 common. So, from minus 3x, if you take out minus 3, x will remain. And from plus 6, if you take out minus 3, see, 6 is equal to minus 3 into minus 2, right? So, if you take out minus 3, it will be minus 2 again. Then, if you see, from these two expressions, x minus 2 is common. Now, if x minus 2 is common, then if you take this out, x will remain from here. If you take this out, minus 3 will remain from here. So, it is x minus 3 equal to 0, right? Now, this whole process looks a little longer. Your agenda should be to reduce the length of this process. This work can be done mentally. Whatever I have done here, this thing can be done mentally. Okay, if you are able to do that, then the time taken will be much lesser. Okay, now I'm writing this expression here again. So now we have two 1 degree terms. See, the whole purpose of factorization is to get all terms in 1 degree. So that individually, because the product is 0, individually we can equate them to 0. And we can get our required values of x. So from the first one, x is equal to 2, and the second one, x equal to 3. So the solutions are x equal to 2 and 3 for this particular equation. Alright, so just go through the method again. I'll repeat. Multiply the first term, multiply the coefficient of the first term, multiply the coefficient of x square with the constant term. You get a value. Then break it into product of two numbers in as many possibilities as are there. Okay. Then, if this is a plus sign, if the constant term has plus sign, add in each possibility. If one of the outcome is present as the coefficient of x, it can be factorized, right? That means if there is no value here which is present here, then no factorization is possible, right? We'll look at those cases later on. As of now, just understand that if there is no outcome here, no factorization possible. Similarly, if this was a minus sign, we would have taken difference. In place of sum, we would have taken difference. Let's take another example of this. Now, I am keeping this here, and now let's take up this question. It says 2x square minus 3x minus 9 equal to 0. Alright. So let's take coefficient of x square, that is 2, and the constant term, that is 9. So 2 into 9 is equal to 18. Break 18 into product of two numbers in whatever possibilities are there. So it is 1 into 18, 2 into 9, 3 into 6. That's it. These are the only three possibilities. Now look at the sign of this constant term. Now this constant term has a negative sign, right? Negative sign. Now this minus sign means take difference in each case, right? So the difference is, in first case, in 1 and 18, the difference is 17. 9 and 2, the difference is 7. 3 and 6, the difference is 3. Then check whether the middle coefficient, the coefficient of x, is any one of these numbers. 17 is not there, 7 is not there, 3 is there, right? 3 is there, so this can be factorized. Now please understand, if none of these number was present here, we could not have factorized this equation. Okay. Now, how did we get this 3? This 3 is actually 6 minus 3. Right. So what we do here is, we say, let me remove this. I repeat, now that we know this 3 can be written as 6 minus 3. It has to be written as 6 minus 3. We'll write it as 2x square minus. Please be careful about the sign and the bracket. This 3 has to be written as 6 minus 3, right? And then you open the bracket. Please understand, x is as it is there, minus is as it is there. This 3 has to be written as 6 minus 3, that's it, right? So we get 2x square. Now open the bracket, it will be minus 6x minus plus 3x minus 9 equal to 0. From these two, you can take out 2x common, you will get x minus 3. And from these two, you can take 3 common, you will get x minus 3 again. It is equal to 0. I hope you can see, from 2x square, if you take 2 out, x out, 1x will remain. From 6x, you take 2 out, 3 will remain, x is already out. From 3x minus 9, 3 out, so x will remain, and from 9, 3, that will be remaining there. Now, if you take out x minus 3 from these two things, so x minus 3 out, and we will have from here 2x, and from here plus 3, that is equal to 0. So it is either x minus 3 equal to 0 or 2x plus 3 equal to 0. Okay, so we have x equal to 3 or minus 3 by 2. Alright, so now let's take a couple of more examples on the basis of factorization.
Now that we have done a good amount of theory, let's take up some questions for practice. The first set of questions is based on solving the quadratic equations by factorization. Alright, let's take up the first question. The first question is 6x squared minus 13x minus 5. Now let's solve this. Now here the coefficient of x squared is 6 and the constant term is 5. So multiply 6 and 5, you will get 30. Factorize 30 in all possible situations. It is 1 into 30, 2 into 15, 3 into 10 and 5 into 6. Look at the sign of constant term, it is minus. So we have to look for the difference. Now difference of 1 and 30 is 29. Difference of 2 and 15 is 13. Difference of 3 and 10 is 7. Difference of 5 and 6 is 1. Here the coefficient of x is 13. That means this possibility will be utilized. Right? So what we can do is we can write this as 6x squared minus 13. In place of 13 we will write 15 minus 2. So it is 15 minus 2x minus 5 equal to 0. Right? Now if you open it, you will get 6x squared minus 15x minus plus 2x minus 5 equal to 0. Now from 6x squared and 15x we can take 3x common. We will get from 6x squared, if you take out 3x, you will get 2x minus, from 15 you take out 3, you get 5, x is gone, so it is 5, plus 1 into 2x minus 5, that is equal to 0. So from this and this expression, we can take out 2x minus 5 common, and the other part will be 3x plus 1 equal to 0. Now this tells us either 2x minus 5 equal to 0 or 3x plus 1 is equal to 0. So from here we have x is equal to either 5 by 2 or minus 1 by 3. Right? So this is the solution of this first question. Now let's go to the next one. Now the second question is 6x squared minus 13x plus 5 equal to 0. Now here you see the coefficient of x squared is 6. Right? And the constant term is still 5. So 6 into 5 is 30. If you break 30 into two parts, it will be 1 into 30, 2 into 15, 3 into 10 and 5 into 6. Here the constant term sign is plus. So you need to add in all these possibilities. Right? So here 1 plus, in the first one it is 1 plus 30, that is 31. In the second one it is 2 plus 15, 17. Third one it is 13, 3 plus 10. And the fourth one it is 5 plus 6, 11. Here the coefficient of x is 13. That means we need to take this one, that is 3 plus 10. So now what we do is we write this 13 as 3 plus 10, that is 6x squared minus, in place of 13, take 3 plus 10, x plus 5 equal to 0. Now open it, you will get 6x squared minus 3x minus 10x plus 5 equal to 0. Right? Now from 6x squared minus 3x, you can take 3x common. From 6, 3 gone, from x squared, x gone, so we will get 2x minus 3x gone, we will get 1 minus, from 10x and 5, you can take minus 5 common, you will get 2x, and from plus 5, if you take out minus 5, you get minus 1, that is equal to 0. So that means from this and this expression, you can take 2x minus 1 common into 3x minus 5, that is equal to 0. Now this gives us 2x minus 1 is equal to 0 or 3x minus 5 equal to 0. Now this means x is equal to 1 by 2 or 5 by 3. So the correct answer is either 1 by 2 or 5 by 3. So we have taken two examples in great details. Now we will do more examples a little faster. Okay. Now this third question, it has coefficient of x squared as 8 and the constant term is 7. So 8 into 7 is equal to 56. Now we can break 56 in all possibilities as a product of two numbers, and look at the sign of constant term, it is negative. That means the difference should be 26. So we directly get to the possibility of 28 into 2, and the difference of 28 into 2 is 26. Right? So here we can take 8x squared plus, in place of 26 we can take 28 minus 2 x minus 7 equal to 0. If you open it, you will get 8x squared plus 28x minus 2x minus 7 equal to 0. From 8x square and 28x, you can take 4x common. You will be left with, from 8x square, if 4x is gone, you will get 2x. From 28x, if 4x is gone, we will get plus 7. Now from minus 2x and minus 7, take minus 1 common. You will get 2x plus 7. Right? So we have 2x plus 7 completely common out, and we get from the first one 4x and second one minus 1 equal to 0. This tells us x is equal to either minus 7 by 2 or 1 by 4, right? So we have done 2 examples in detail, and here I just did it a little faster, only the required steps. Okay, now let's go to the next question. Now in this one, this fourth question, we have coefficient of x square is 3 and the constant term is 16 and the plus sign. Constant term has plus sign. So 3 into 16 is equal to 48. We break 48 into 2 parts such that the sum of those 2 parts is 14. So if you see, 48 is 8 into 6 and 8 plus 6 is 14. So what we do is we write this as 3x square plus, in place of 14 we write 8 plus 6. See, the order of 8 and 6 does not matter. Even if we write it as 6 plus 8, doesn't matter. You will get the same answer in the end, right? So let's simplify this. Now this is 3x square plus, if you open it, you will get 8x plus 6x plus 16 equal to 0. Now from these two, just x is common. So take x out, you will get 3x plus 8. And if from the next two, you can see that 2 is common. So you get again 3x plus 8 equal to 0. That means 3x plus 8 is completely out. And in the second part, we will have x plus 2 equal to 0. This tells us very clearly from the first one, it will be x equal to minus 8 by 3. And from the second one, x equal to minus 2. So the final answer of this question is minus 8 by 3 and minus 2. Alright. Now let's take one more example. Now this fifth example, coefficient of x square is 1, constant term is 24, 1 into 24 is 24. Now we have to break 24 in such a manner that the sum, because here this 24 has plus sign. So sum of those two parts should be 11. Very clearly it is 8 into 3. So what we can do is we can write it as x square minus 11 can be written as minus 8x minus 3x plus 24 equal to 0. So as you can see, if you have a good amount of practice, you can directly from this question given to this step, you can directly reach. Right? This also is a mental work. Okay. Now this is x, from x square and minus 8x, you can take x common. You'll get x minus 8. And from these two, you can take minus 3 common. You'll again get x minus 8 equal to 0. So that gives us x minus 8 completely common. And from the first part x and from the second part minus 3 equal to 0. This gives us x is equal to either 8 or 3. Right? So this is where we have completed, I think, a sufficient practice for factorization of quadratic equation and finding solutions. Please understand that it is not always possible, but wherever possible, we have just done that. Now we will take in some examples wherein the factorization is not possible and we have to apply formulae. Okay, let's go ahead.